And like always, you've completed your mission.
Like always.
Those words don't come from me. You must know what they say about you here.
No, I don't know. Enlighten me.
Well, you have kind of a reputation. It's actually rather flattering.
I've already told you, you can't trust anyone here. Everyone's working an angle.
I have a hard time seeing how saying nice things about you to me could be construed as manipulation.
It's all tactics to get you to let your guard down, or earn a favor. So, you need to be even more careful.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
Don't listen to gossip. Forge your own opinions.
Don't worry about it.
It's not a natural thing here. It takes some experience.
Mens et manus.
Mind and hand.
That's the MIT motto. One of my teachers used to say that the only way to really learn something is by doing it. You have a lot in common with him.
I'm unsure of how I'm supposed to interpret that.
It's a compliment. You didn't tell me what was in those files you gave the prince.
I don't see how that's any of your business.
To make up your own mind about something, the best way is to go to the source. And apparently, Jason Moore is well informed.
I see. You'll have to be patient, Fang.
Do you think your success on the mission could play to our advantage? I mean, for...
The prince will decide your fate when the time comes. Being useful to her can't hurt. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I just want to get it over with. Like when you're going into finals.
Even if there's no going back?
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
It is.
Your child, Beryl Underwood, did he have any second thoughts?
I don't want to discuss it.
He's your only child, so I wondered how it went. Well, could you enlighten me?
Fang, are you sure that's all this is about?
Yes, obviously.
Fang, we can't trust Beryl. I want you to stay away from him for your own good. Do you understand?
Yes. Loud and clear. I'll be careful.
Don't dwell on it anymore. He's not worth wasting your energy. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fang, I'm going to have a word with him.
Oh? To Beryl? Why?
I trust you, but I don't trust him.
I asked you not to go near him. Apparently, I didn't make myself clear enough.
I thought the prince was gonna call for you any minute now.
I'm sure I'll have enough time to clear the air with him first. Once and for all. While you're waiting, stay put.
As you wish.
Just one more, and then you can go rest.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Ortiz.
That does a body good. I can feel my strength coming back already.
It's a pleasure and an honor, ma'am.
Don't go far. I might need to avail myself of your services later. Hello, Mr. Vizori. You'll excuse me if I'm not in my usual state to greet you.
Do I know you?
I know you. I'm Himiko, the Shivari mistress.
You were one of the guests at the reunification party.
If I'm still here, it's due to a fortunate misunderstanding. A certain Leisha mistook me for someone else.
The prince was looking for her child.
I hope she won't be angry with me.
Why were you invited to the party?
My presence is generally appreciated during this sort of event. Some guests need help relaxing. Shall I give you my card?
Sure.
How unexpected.
That's not the last thing that will surprise you. Your injuries are impressive.
Those hunters have no mercy. I hope you'll never cross paths with them.
I'll be going now. A message from Caius. Need you downstairs. Urgent issue. Bad timing. I'm going to have to choose. Help Caius or speak with Beryl.
There's no point in hanging around here bothering me. It's gonna take me a while.
Very well, Mr. Sheridan. Please excuse me.
All I'm hearing tonight is Lazarus do this, Lazarus do that. It's too slow. What a shitstorm!
The pile's not getting any smaller.
If you've got a question, take it to Ms. Bosley.
Caleb, you don't come here often. Sorry, things are a little hectic here. As you can see.
What's going on?
Code Red. We're destroying all of our files. Following protocol.
You're destroying all our files?
No, not everything. Obviously. Some information needs to be saved. The rest will be a treasure trove for anyone who wants to harm us. That's what's got to disappear. It's a huge undertaking. And of course, Hazel's putting major pressure on me. I think she holds me responsible for what happened with Journey. That little bitch got me in trouble.
It's her job. She's trying to keep us from going down with the ship, no matter the cost.
I agree. And you know how much I love Hazel. But it's starting to get hard to manage. My efficiency might be the stuff of legend, but even I make mistakes. How about you? Is everything all right?
After last night, who could say that?
I mean, you know, your condition.
My condition?
You know, you're the eldest among us now.
Are you worried about me, or the void I'll leave behind?
You're an essential asset for the Camarilla. You disappearing now would be one of the worst possible things that can happen to us.
It's true that reliability is a virtue in decline.
Don't leave us. That's all. For Hazel's sake.
I've got my own reasons to stay.
I was wondering, what is it like? Do you hear voices? Does it come at you all at once?
It's more like a feeling. A light one at first. Then it grows, and grows, until it becomes unbearable.
It doesn't look so unbearable for you.
I'm hanging on, but you shouldn't worry about it. You're still very young.
Listen to us. Talking about growing old, like mortals do.
What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Second Inquisition attack. You're the only person here who doesn't seem fazed by it. London seems so far away. Now they're here. They're destroying the people we know. I really need to get back to work.
Good luck.
We're waiting for Mr. Leto's signal. Until then, if you have any questions, save on. Got it?
No problem.
Great. Have you talked to Mr. Leto yet?
I want a report on his activities pronto. I don't like the sound of that at all. Oh, there you are. Follow me, please. We'll speak in private.
You wanted to see me?
Happy to see you, Caleb. We don't usually let anybody down here, but I can bend the rules for you.
To what do I owe this honor?
I need you. Something's come up. On the night of the attack, someone sent a message to an unauthorized recipient.
Do you know who it was?
Not now, but I will soon enough. Otherwise, the prince will have my head. Caleb, I need your help. I get the feeling that it's all connected. It's too huge to be a coincidence.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Jara Drory.
It's easy to accuse someone who's not here to defend herself.
Yes, and I might have it all wrong. But I wouldn't accuse her unless I had serious doubts. Think it through carefully. For starters, she's one of the few who knows how the system works.
She'd be able to cover her tracks, wouldn't she?
Maybe. But maybe she made a mistake.
I don't know. Jara has most likely been destroyed by now.
Do you have any evidence supporting what you're suggesting? Anyways, nothing concrete. Just a hunch, if you want to call it that. In my place, under the current circumstances, I can't really go poking my nose in her business.
And I can.
Nobody will bother you. I'm not asking for much. Just take a look in Jara's room to see if you can find anything that ties her to any of this. And if you could do it quickly.
Why?
Because I'm about to erase a ton of data. It's the Code Red protocol. And since Jara vanished, the prince wants her personal data to disappear along with her. That doesn't give us much time. You in?
I could maybe go and take a look around.
Great. I found a key to her room. Take it.
Thanks.
It's our last chance to recover the data from Jara Drory's computer before everything disappears for good. Just insert this thumb drive and it will download everything I need. If she betrayed us, I'll know.
Fine. I'll go see what I can find.
Thanks. One last thing.
Uh-huh.
If you could keep this just between you and me.
Fine.
And don't come back to see me here. It's supposed to be sealed. It'll look suspicious. I'll send in an engineer after you. Give him the drive when you're done, but don't tell him anything. We have to keep this between us.
As you wish.
Caleb, our secret agent is back already. The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Beryl is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him. I heard you were doing business with him.
It's something to do with the Rosemont Society, my foundation. Why?
I see.
All I can tell you is that Beryl's really the one who is in charge of it. Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I don't see why I would have any regrets.
That's no surprise. Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time, otherwise they end up making a mess of things.
But trying to influence them is pointless.
You must be subtle about it, that's all. I give Mem just enough freedom so that she doesn't completely hate me. But I know exactly how to make her do whatever I want. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
Mr. Bazori, your child left a few minutes ago.
There's no point in insisting.
The prince didn't ask you for your opinion.
Hazel can't just ignore me and then call me in like this. Now get out of here before I make your blood boil.
Mr. Siaka, you're taking a big risk.
Goodbye.
Asshole. What do we do if the hunters show up?
Now she's sending you.
Run into some trouble with the prince?
That's a question to ask Hazel. She's the one who doesn't know what she wants.
You seem unusually tense. Are you sure she's the problem?
Obviously, the whole situation is a nightmare, but Hazel's not helping. She's obviously overwhelmed, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. I don't know how you still put up with her.
You owe your place in the primogen to her.
What, you think I don't know that? I've always done my best to keep her from screwing things up. But when she reached out to Hartford...
Is there a problem with Hartford?
I told Hazel we can't trust them.
Do you have any evidence to support what you're suggesting?
She doesn't know Deneb the way I do. She wouldn't listen to my warnings.
Her plan was bold.
Risky is a better adjective. After what happened last night, I'm not sure you realize just how deep the shit we are in goes.
And I suppose you have the solution?
Maybe. Not that I'm happy about it. There's interesting stuff going on in other places. Boston's not the center of the universe.
We don't know who can be trusted. This is no time to leave. If the princess kept you in the dark, she must have had a good reason for it. Just look at what happened.
Open your eyes, Caleb! The Boston Camarilla is crumbling before our eyes! What are the odds we survive?
Hazel has things under control. We'll get through this.
I have a hard time believing that. We have to prepare for the worst.
This kind of talk is beneath you.
You know what it's like! To feel called to be elsewhere.
That has nothing to do with this. Salem isn't elsewhere. You won't be any safer there.
It's just a starting point. We thaumaturgs will find a way to deal with it.
I see that you've planned for everything.
I've already lost too much time. You shouldn't waste your time either.
If you leave, Hazel will catch up with you.
What do you mean?
You know, she doesn't like people who have been disloyal, especially now.
Hazel doesn't need new enemies. She should be wary.
Be careful.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Let's see if Caius was right. It appears that this place was hidden with an illusion. It's not like Jara to let that kind of thing wear off. Jara has always been wary of new technology. That should take less than a minute.
Jara always was old-fashioned. Whatever's in this box must be important.
Jara was conducting her own investigation. There is no way Caius would be expecting that.
It appears Caius was wrong. He and Jara may have been looking for the same individual.
I hope Caius will be able to use what's on this thumb drive. I think that's everything. Now it's Caius's turn.
Hello, Mr. Vizori. Mr. Leto asked me to wait until you were done. He also told me you'd have something for me.
Here it is. Give it to him, and him alone.
And don't ask any questions. I get it. Are you done here?
You may proceed.
Thanks.
I hope Caius knows what he's doing.
Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait.
I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer?
Caleb, I was wondering when I'd run into you.
Victoria, what a surprise. I didn't know you had decided to walk among us.
I'm always where you'd least expect me. It feels like I've been away for ages. Boston has changed so much. The only thing that hasn't changed is your steadfast presence at court.
Is that a problem?
You know it's not. I'm just surprised, that's all. There's a whole world outside this city, you know?
I'll serve our family as long as it needs me.
You are a reassuring presence. I must admit I was a bit surprised not to find Quentin King in charge.
Quentin gave in to the beckoning 4 years ago. Ms. Iverson runs Boston now.
How droll. I never thought King would give up his precious crown. He was so attached to it. Iverson is lucky she can count on your loyalty. You're a valuable resource, Caleb, especially in times like these.
I'm only doing my duty.
Ever the cheerful one.
So many elders are gone, and yet, here you are. How is it possible?
Because I want to, that's all. I enjoy my existence. Why give it up?
But you must also feel that force. The insistent calling, night after night.
Yes, but unlike so many others, I have a reason to resist. Don't you?
I still have some ties that keep me here. I won't leave without having one more child.
You are sure taking your time.
I'm waiting for the prince's blessing. It shouldn't be long now. Fang will be embraced soon.
Fang! Oh yes, I see. She seems charming, spirited even. You have a knack for finding true gems. I remember your sire, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
I didn't see him at court. I remember he was very popular back in the day.
He left with all the others.
Oh. I know the two of you were very close. His absence must have left quite the void.
I have no energy to waste on regrets. Jean-Baptiste had no choice. No more than I do. That's all there is to say on the matter.
Of course. I'd expect nothing less from you.
You seem to have met Feng.
We had the chance to talk last night. She was pacing the floor while you were gone.
I told her to keep quiet.
And she did. She's a smart young woman of great consequence. You shouldn't treat her like a child.
She's still young and naive. This is the first time she's come with me to court.
Really? Well, she's doing very well for a beginner. You should be proud of your apprentice, Caleb. She knows how to behave. I've known children who were less well-mannered.
Your own.
I embraced some pretty strong personalities. I know how hard it is to let go.
I'm not overprotective of her, if that's what you mean.
That's not the impression you give off. I hope you're able to find a balance, or you'll both suffer.
I hadn't heard you were coming to Boston.
Indeed. I wouldn't be stuck in this tower if I hadn't gotten wind of your arrangement with Hartford.
Well, isn't that a shame?
It's not been a complete waste. I met your prince, and I got to see a few old friends. I just hope it's not at the cost of my unlife.
You don't seem to be hurt. I take it you weren't at the party last night.
Heavens no. I was in your prince's personal suite. We hadn't even left yet when the Code Red was initiated.
Good timing.
Good timing indeed. When I think that the Second Inquisition's butchers were lying in wait, I'd shiver. If I could.
My obligations to Hazel kept me away from the court last night. Did I miss anything important?
No, nothing much. I ran into Burrell. He was with your charming little protege.
I don't like the sound of that. Did you hear their conversation?
That would have been very impolite of me.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Caleb.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Caleb. My prince.
We were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What? That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
Moore would never have done it on his own. He would never have dared.
I agree. It's much too bold a move for him. And that's what concerns me the most. Someone used him to attack us. Someone who was extremely well prepared.
It might be one of our own.
That's what I think. It's the most plausible explanation.
If there's a traitor among us, I'll have their head.
One thing at a time. I'll take care of the traitor, personally. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Did you read Jara Drory's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances. Or this, Kata Potis. What on earth is it?
I've got no idea.
It doesn't add up. It seemed important to her.
But she's not here to shed any light on it.
I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
Sending me there. That seems to be a rather bold choice.
I don't see anyone better for the job.
Infiltration isn't really my specialty.
You'll be dealing with Kine. You'll be a fox in a henhouse. I'm not worried about you. And Delsin knows how to get you in.
Oh, that changes everything.
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people, to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the Kine are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Caleb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince,